The psychology of power, why people instantly respect some and ignore others. The silent magnetism of power. Some people walk into a room and everything shifts. The air feels heavier, the noise softens, and without saying a word, they own the moment. They don't try to be seen, they simply are. Meanwhile, others do everything to get noticed, speak louder, laugh harder, show more confidence, and yet, somehow, they disappear. It's almost unfair, isn't it? Two people with the same talent, the same looks, the same presence, but only one is respected. The difference isn't what they say, it's what they radiate. Because real power is invisible. It's not in the words, it's in the energy beneath them. You can sense it in the way they stand, the way they breathe, the way silence bends around them. It's calm, grounded and certain. That's the kind of energy that makes people listen, even when you're not talking. See, the human brain is a pattern detector. It notices contrast. And when someone walks in unbothered, unfazed, and in control, our subconscious whispers, "This person matters." It's instinct. Power draws attention the same way fire draws warmth effortlessly. And here's the paradox most never see. The people who chase respect lose it. The ones who don't care for it attract it. Because the moment you try to prove your worth, you've already admitted doubt. The powerful don't seek validation. They create the frame others step into, and that's where the psychology begins. The question isn't how do you look powerful, it's how do you feel powerful before anyone else believes it. That's what separates those who command the room from those who fade into it. The hidden code behind power. Welcome to Re-Art to Your Heart, where we decode how the human mind really works so you can take back control. Power. It's one of the most misunderstood forces in human psychology. Most people think it's about dominance, about being louder, stronger, richer. But in reality, power is something far quieter and far deeper. It's not about what you have, it's about what others feel when they're around you. Because at its core, power is perception, and perception is psychology. Think about it. When someone speaks with calm certainty, you instinctively lean in. When someone reacts emotionally, you instinctively pull back. We don't consciously choose who to respect. Our brains decide for us in milliseconds. Psychologists call this the dominance heuristic. It's a survival instinct. Your mind is constantly scanning for who's in control, because aligning with control meant safety in ancient times. Even today, in offices, classrooms, relationships, your brain still plays that ancient game. It's not about fear, it's about stability. We're drawn to people who seem emotionally stable because they feel like anchors in a chaotic world. That's the hidden code behind power. Emotional gravity. The more grounded you are, the more people orbit around you. And that's why power doesn't need to be shown, it's felt. The problem is, most people confuse attention with respect. They chase visibility instead of gravity. But visibility fades fast. Gravity keeps people pulled in silently, naturally. So the question becomes, how do you develop that gravity? How do you project authority without trying? It starts with presence. The kind of presence that tells the world, I don't need to rush, I don't need to prove, I am already enough. That's the first psychological trigger of power. Part 3, the energy of presence. Power begins long before words are spoken. It's in the way someone moves or doesn't move, the way they breathe, stand, and occupy space. Have you ever noticed a person who doesn't rush, who doesn't fidget, who doesn't try to impress, yet everyone instinctively leans in? That's the energy of presence. A subtle magnetic force that signals, I am here, I am steady, I belong. Our brains are wired to detect these signals. Even before we consciously think, we register calmness as strength, stillness as control, and measured speech as confidence. Contrast this with someone frantic, overly eager, or reactive. Every small tremor, every rushed word, every glance for approval telegraphs insecurity. And the brain, ancient as it is, instantly notices. Presence is not about being impressive, it's about being grounded, standing in your own energy without needing anyone else to validate it. And here's the secret most never realize. The more anchored you are in yourself, the more others will anchor themselves to you. You don't have to speak to dominate a room. Your calm energy does it silently. Even subtle adjustments matter. Slow, deliberate gestures, pauses that punctuate rather than fill space. A steady gaze that meets eyes without demanding attention. These small cues ripple outward. People feel your stability before they consciously recognize it. Power is rarely loud. It's almost invisible, yet its pull is undeniable. When you master your presence, you don't ask for respect, you simply emit it. Part 4. The authority frame. Owning the reality around you. One of the most overlooked secrets of power is frame control. A frame is the lens through which reality is interpreted, and whoever holds it first holds the interaction. Think about it. When someone criticizes you and you react emotionally, they've set the frame. When you stay calm and grounded, you take it back. Power is not about arguing louder. It's about defining the emotional and psychological space. This is why the most respected people rarely feel the need to fight for it. They don't try to dominate conversations. They shape them subtly. Every interaction is a silent negotiation. Who sets the tone? Who decides what matters? Who dictates what is acceptable? When you understand this, you realize something crucial. Power is directional. It's not a trophy to hold. It's a current you create that others naturally flow into. The strong don't enforce. They suggest, hint, and influence. And almost without exception, people align. The authority frame is invisible, but it's felt immediately. It's the calm that resists chaos, the certainty that repels doubt, the quiet that turns attention into respect. Mastering your frame is the key to being listened to, even when no one initially agrees with you. Part 5. Confidence without words. Power often speaks in silence. It's not in boasting, arguing, or performing. It's in the unspoken signals that your mind and body broadcast automatically. Consider this. A calm tone, deliberate gestures, and steady posture tell people more about your authority than 1,000 spoken sentences. The way you occupy space, not aggressively, but assuredly, communicates confidence. Your gaze lingers just long enough to signal attention, but not so long as to seem needy. Your voice carries weight, not volume. Even pauses are powerful. Moments of silence make people lean in, forcing them to fill the gaps with respect and curiosity. It's a subtle loop. You act confident, others respond with respect. Your brain reinforces the behavior, confidence deepens. Notice how children naturally follow calm leaders in a playground. Notice how in meetings the person who doesn't over-explain often ends up shaping the decisions. This is the magic of nonverbal authority. It's effortless, yet magnetic. You don't demand attention, you draw it. And here's the hidden edge. The less you try to impress, the more people are impressed. Confidence without words is invisible power, and the strongest leaders understand this instinctively. Next, Part 6, the detachment principle, where we explore why those who don't seek approval automatically receive it, and why unpredictability amplifies respect. Shall I continue with Part 6? Part 6, the detachment principle. One of the most counterintuitive truths about power is this: the less you need others, the more they need you. Detachment is not coldness. It's a form of control over your attention, your emotions, and your reactions. When you don't seek approval, validation, or praise, you become unpredictable, and unpredictability commands attention. Think about it. People instinctively follow those who seem self-contained. They lean in, curious and alert, because your energy isn't dependent on theirs. This principle works because human brains are wired to detect scarcity. Something rare becomes valuable. A person who constantly chases respect, they appear abundant, easy, replaceable. A person who moves calmly, acts independently, and doesn't react impulsively, they seem rare, desirable, worth watching. Detachment also signals emotional strength. By not reacting to provocations, you hold the frame and others adjust their behavior to match yours. Here's the secret. The moment you stop performing for others, stop seeking validation, and start projecting your own grounded energy, you stop chasing respect, and suddenly it chases you. Power is amplified when you focus inward, when your attention is selective, and when your energy is untouchable by the whims of others. Part 7. Tribal Psychology. Why humans follow certainty. Power isn't just a social construct. It's wired deep into our biology. Humans are tribal creatures. For tens of thousands of years, survival depended on following leaders who were confident, calm, and decisive. Even today, that instinct hasn't disappeared. Our brains still scan for certainty, stability, and emotional control, and we gravitate toward those who radiate it. Notice in meetings or classrooms, the person who speaks last but with clarity often carries the most influence. The one who hesitates or over-explains rarely commands attention. Our brains are wired to equate calm confidence with competence. It's a shortcut for survival. If someone seems grounded and in control, they are trusted to guide the group. This is why people respect those who don't need their approval. It's instinctive, it's automatic. Even subtle displays, measured gestures, controlled breathing, Unflinching gaze signal a mastery over oneself that others instinctively follow. Hierarchy isn't always about titles, wealth, or strength. It's about certainty, and those who master it silently pull the social currents in their direction. When you understand tribal psychology, you see that power isn't won by force or words. It's claimed through presence, consistency, and undeniable inner authority. Part 8. The illusion of status. How society rewards the calm. Society often mistakes calmness for competence, and that's no accident. The brain equates emotional stability with capability, even when actual skill is uncertain. Think about leaders you respect. Chances are, they rarely panic, they rarely overreact. They make decisions with a quiet certainty that draws others in. Contrast that with someone who constantly proves themselves bragging, over-explaining, or reacting emotionally. They may be skilled, talented, or knowledgeable, yet people hesitate to follow them. Power thrives in stillness. It thrives in measured action and controlled responses. It thrives in those who project mastery without needing applause. Even subtle social signals matter. Who interrupts? Who waits? Who raises their voice? Who speaks with calm authority? Who reacts instantly? Who absorbs and reflects? Our minds are wired to follow the latter. Calmness creates trust. Predictability creates safety. And together, they create influence that feels effortless. Here's the key takeaway. Power is often invisible, but it's constantly at work. It isn't about proving yourself. It's about being yourself, fully grounded, fully present. Part 9. Becoming magnetic. The path to inner power. If power is invisible, how do you cultivate it? The answer lies in internal mastery, not external approval. It starts with presence. Stand grounded. Breathe deeply. Move deliberately. Next, control your attention. Stop chasing validation. Stop reacting impulsively. Let your energy be selective. Then cultivate calm confidence. Speak with intention, not volume. Pause to let words land. Let silence carry weight. Even small daily practices amplify magnetic authority. Observe without judgment. Make decisions slowly but confidently. Accept that not everyone's opinion matters. Power also grows through detachment. The less you rely on others' approval, the more they naturally gravitate toward you. And remember the frame. Every interaction is a subtle negotiation. By holding your emotional and psychological space, you set the tone for how others engage with you. The transformation is simple, but profound. Respect flows to those who respect themselves first. Authority emerges from self-mastery. Magnetism is born from inner certainty. When you embody these principles, you don't have to demand attention. People notice, people listen, people follow. Part 10. Reflection. The true nature of power. Power isn't a possession, it's a presence. It doesn't demand obedience, it attracts it. The strongest people aren't those who shout the loudest or accumulate titles, wealth, or influence. They are the ones who master themselves first. True power begins internally. Respect your own boundaries. Ground yourself in calm certainty. Move with intention, not reaction. When you stop performing for others, stop seeking validation, and start being, you shift the energy around you effortlessly. The brain notices. People notice. The room adjusts. Naturally, silently, inevitably. This is why some are instantly respected while others are ignored. It's not luck. It's not charm. It's psychology. Power is the invisible gravity of a grounded mind, a presence that attracts attention and commands respect without demand. Remember this. Control your frame, master your presence, and you control not just the room, but the way the world perceives you. Next time on To Your Heart, we'll uncover the hidden mind tricks that make people obey without realizing. Until then, be calm, be certain, and let your presence speak louder than any words ever could.